welcome to game 2 of the match. Folivora versus BitterWurmcoil for Big Games Champions. They played very fast. It was tough. It was tough with how fast they played to give super cogent commentary there. Bandit forward is whatever. We have the owl is whatever. I mean, I think you're certainly opening scrap with your 3. What you do in the 4 is not really sure. The draw here is pretty weak with Herald, Festival, Moat, but I think Horn of Plenty is strong enough that you do that. It looks like BitterWurmcoil is going cut purse, scrap, which makes some sense, especially as player 1. Discarding those coppers. It's going to be annoying for player 2. Just the cut purse is not a very good card for the deck. I guess you don't have mini terminals. I guess you want to spend all your terminal space playing moats for draw. And scrap moat is not a particularly good opening. Caravan scrap doesn't feel like a very good opening either. Boy, I would have sat and thought about this for a few minutes to figure this one out because it's not at all obvious to me. I think you get a second scrap. Both players with pretty bad draws. Yeah, neither player gets to trash an estate in their first shuffle opening with scrap. Yeah, you just play this scrap here and buy a moat. Moat's a fine card for the deck. They've got an attack. You're going to add heralds and festivals and stuff. It's awkward to play with heralds, festivals, moats, and horns of plenty, but it seems like the best thing by a pretty wide margin. Caravans can smooth out some of that awkwardness. And yeah, we kind of sadly play this moat here because, ouch, that's just you just draw the scrap as you do, and maybe you pick up a herald now. Caravan, huh? I don't think I believe in the caravan. For BitterWurmcoil, Folivora doesn't have an attack yet. Like you can buy herald overpay top deck things, or you can just buy. I don't even know that you need to herald. I mean, no. So herald, yeah. Way of the Owl Festival. The issue is once you have 5 horns of plenty, Way of the Owl doesn't work, and it's pretty tough to. What am I saying? It's pretty tough to have 5 horn of plenties and have Way of the Owl do anything for you. Wow, Folivora just drawing awful here. Okay, they found an estate, which is nice. I think I take horse coin and then buy a festival here. That seems best for Folivora. I don't really want to trigger this shuffle without either of my caravans or scrap in it. Okay, they just didn't play the moat. Okay, I don't know why they took action. They could have taken a free horse, right? They just missed a free horse there. Please play Way of the Owl. Nice. I think you don't play this moat. There's a scrap and 3 estates down there. You can buy like Herald Moat here. I mean, if you're worried about the attack, you can buy something else. Here you can actually do Moat, Herald, and top deck a Moat if you really care that much. Problem is we didn't draw the scrap dead, but we did draw an estate. So now there's 2 coppers and scrap down there, or 1 copper scrap and some action. Folivora actually has a silver. So copper, silver, scrap. And they're drawing 2 with caravan. So it's like it's a fine, like you were going to draw 2 cards into the shuffle anyways, I think. But we'll see. Moat and festival. BitterWurmcoil, meanwhile, has gotten a barbarian, which I think is bad. Very bad. Just regular bad. I don't believe in barbarian here at all. I'm not quite sure the logic behind it, other than I like to attack people. So like the Marie Kondo school of things, I guess. no need to play this moat. We could draw stuff dead that we want to play next turn. And here I would grab another moat and top deck a Herald. Top deck a moat and or a horse and buy another moat. And I'm pretty happy to just keep adding Heralds. Eventually you're going to hit some moats and stuff. It's going to be all right. I kind of believe in a second scrap, to be honest, as strange as that is. We're also at the point now where the cut purse is actively bad because with Way of the Owl, you're kind of okay discarding coppers from your starting hand. But I assume BitterWurmcoil is going to either play it mostly as Way of the Owl or mostly as Way of the Owl. So here we can play the Festival and then play the horse as Way of the Owl if we want. That saves us a draw if we feel like that's or that saves us a horse at the cost of an action if we wanted to. But we are still action limited, I think. We've got a Herald down there. I think I'm at the point where I don't want to be playing these moats. Just because I know I have good cards down there like a Herald. Oh, we still had one action. Sorry, I was in the middle of actions there. Yeah, so we can go coin horse and get like Festival, Horn of Plenty. I like pretty aggressively don't want to buy Barbarians here. We've got so many engine pieces, and the Barbarian does not help the engine. So we want to build the engine, build it strong, and sure, we'll lose a Festival or a Herald periodically, but we've got cheaper things, scraps, moats we can gain. Moat is going to block the Barbarian attack most of the time anyways. It just seems like a huge mistake to have invested any effort into Barbarian here. I don't understand the caravans though. I mean, I'm already kind of not happy with the caravan on the 4-3 opening. I guess I don't know what else you buy. You buy the cut purse and just kind of be unhappy with it, but yeah, and Folivora's actually gotten the second scrap, which is quite nice. And I think we're already into scrapping this silver for card action horse. And we have plenty of uniques for when we decide to start going huge, but for now I just want to start adding in. Okay, they got the silver back. For now I just want to keep adding in horns and heralds and stuff. So gain a horn off the horn and buy like Herald Moat. I'm pretty sure we have a third moat in those top 4 cards. They made some calculation difference here. Oh, if they're not going to play the moat, then they should take silver coin something. They took card action horse. Yeah, that's fine. So I believe they have good actions down there that don't want to draw dead. Yeah, that moat play was really bad. They should have not played that moat there. They should have just held on to it, and the next turn they've got Moat Caravan on top, which is fine. And they can even play Herald, buy something else. I feel like Heralds, you're getting to the point where Heralds are going to hit often enough that Heralds solve the problem that you have. I guess they're just going to top deck the Festival, though. That makes sense. And then buy another moat. I just would have rather had the moat on top of my deck there. So yeah, this is the thing I said with the cut purse, although they ended up owling it. But it actually would have helped Folivora because they would have been able to draw 4 cards instead of 3 off this caravan. Yeah, so BitterWurmcoil's just abandoned the Barbarian plan, it looks like. Moat drawing 4 is quite nice. We can scrap 1 copper. I think the nice thing about having the 2 scraps is 1 scrap can be used to thin a copper, and the other scrap can be used on the silver or horse or moat or whatever to get you stuff. I think we have copper horn down here, so this Herald, we got the Herald into play. So we can scrap this horse into something. Coin buy silver, perhaps, or buy coin Silver Horse and draw the silver. Seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, coin Silver Horse, draw it, draw the silver, and repeat. We need to add another horn here at least. I think horn's the important payload card, and it gives you pile control. So BitterWurmcoil does not have any horns yet, so Folivora has like pretty significant pile control advantages here. Coin Silver Horse, I think, is the only thing that makes sense. Even if you don't need the coin buy, you've got 4 buys already. You don't need actions, you don't need cards. So those are the 3 remaining options. So I like horn gaining horn. I like horn. You can't do Horn Festival Herald, sadly. You could do Horn Herald Moat. Maybe top decking the Moat. I don't understand why we're buying all these caravans. We have the Owl, which we're actually activating a bunch of times. So they're just going to buy 2 Heralds. Yeah, they've only got... I would have preferred maybe to get a second Horn of Plenty this turn, but I feel like... third Horn of Plenty this turn. I feel like we're in okay shape. I also like top decking a Moat most turns if we can. Although that's not super important. And they're going to get a hit in here, I guess. Or do you play the cut purse here as Owl? Yeah, I mean, Moat into Curse is pretty... We had enough Moats. We were pretty fine with letting that happen. Folivora should be able to win in 2 turns pretty easily. What kind of moat can't defend itself? Yeah, so a fortress can defend itself. If the barbarian tries the fortress, it would go to Folivora's hand, but this one didn't. So I think the answer to that is the moat was still being dug, and the barbarians just rubbed through it. They hadn't filled it with water yet. I don't know. A bit of a stretch, perhaps. We still have a bunch more moats here, so we can draw. Looks like we're gonna owl this horse, something like that. Probably don't care about trashing this curse too much unless it works out. Like, I'd rather trash the silver for value here. Trash the silver for coin Silver Horse or something. I would like to buy and top deck a moat, but that's not, incredibly necessary. This just seems like completely winning for Folivora. They can trash the silver their last turn for a little bit of extra VP, but I assume they'll be able to get a couple of provinces next turn and win. I think this is just another horn. That gives you 4 horns. That's a lot of gains. And then something like Moat, Herald Overpay, and top deck a Moat. It's somewhat weird we're mixing treasures and heralds, but we've got enough action density here. We're looking at 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 16 actions and 6 treasures. Now 8 treasures. So it seems okay. Let's see if their heralds hit. So 1 herald hit Moat, 1 hit Caravan, 1 hit Silver. So 2 out of 3 hits, which is about expectation here. But yeah, this is not trivial. This is a good spot for a think. I think BitterWurmcoil is quite a bit behind. She has Barbarian, so she might be trying to Barbarian hit your Horns of Plenty to mess with you. So top decking a moat certainly makes a lot of sense if you can, although we've got 3 or 4 in the deck, so it's not super necessary. Just Folivora has so much more payload here. With 5 Horns of Plenty and the 3 buys, maybe, emptying Herald's Moats and buying, if they scrap the silver, that's worth 2. So emptying Herald's Moats and buying a duchy seems very, very easy next turn. And if BitterWurmcoil lowers horns at all to try to catch up in payload, then then that pile's lower. And if she takes provinces, then Folivora can just build one more turn and look to get the entire province stack the turn after this one. That's my read here. Look, there's so many coppers still. I think the earlier second scrap paid dividends here. I think you just horn, gain something, festival maybe, buy province, horn, buy province festival. Like you've got a little bit of a VP lead. I don't see BitterWurmcoil as having any kind of pile pressure. The Heralds have not been great already. 3 out of 4. Wow. This did not go great. I mean, I think you just stop here and you say, I'm gonna win next turn on 7 provinces. So what do I need to do? I have 4 horns. I need to gain 2 horns here this turn, and you've got 5 uniques in play if you scrap a copper. So like scrap a copper, buy a moat, gain a horn. Maybe you don't buy. Maybe like what are you gaining? Maybe you gain 1 horn and 1 festival here, and then pass on your other gains. Is that crazy? You could also gain like some more scraps. Scraps are pretty neutral cards for the deck. If you happen to draw 2 scraps, you can just scrap 1 for card action, or you could owl them with your festivals. Yeah, but this is a pretty sad draw order for Folivora, but I think they just plan to win next turn, and I don't see how BitterWurmcoil does anything more than 4 gains next turn. Maybe 5 gains if one of the piles is moat. The alternative is if Folivora really feels like they need to do something here, they scrap the moat. But I don't feel like they're in that spot. I think they can gain festival, horn, scrap, something like that. Yeah, this I don't think ends up being any better. They just removed a festival from the top of their deck. Probably they. I don't see. So the problem is I don't want to buy. I don't want to buy anything other than festival, herald, moat, horn of plenty, and those are the low piles. So I don't want to lower those piles. I guess I'm willing to take a couple of scraps, and I'm willing to take like 1 horn, 1 festival, 1 scrap, something like that, and then pass my last buy. I think I passed my last buy then. I'm really confused here why the caravan pile emptied. I would think the herald pile was more important. Problem here is I feel like Folivora is still very, very far ahead and very, very likely to win the game. However, if they screw this turn up, they could leave a significant opening for BitterWurmcoil to come in and steal the victory. So they have to be a little bit careful here. BitterWurmcoil has two horns of plenty, and in theory they could buy like 3 things. So like they could buy 3 moats certainly, or 3 heralds. 3 heralds is maybe above the amount of money they can generate in a turn. So and festivals are even harder than that. So leaving festival and horn at 3, I think they can take 1 more from the festival horn pile, and feel okay about it. But I think I just take like 3 scraps here and be content to gain 6 provinces next turn. I think 3 scraps is too many. 2 scraps, and yeah, Barbarian's just kind of a card. You could definitely take 2 scraps here for sure. I don't think Herald is safe anymore because I think Horn's gaining 2 festivals, they would need 13. Okay, well now I'm confused. Now I'm completely confused and I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they gained the moat there. 4 buys and 10 money, I don't think. I think they can do. We're going to scrap this cut purse, I imagine, for card action coin buy. Like we're already getting pretty close to gains here. We just need 10 and 3 buys here. I think they should not have lowered that moat, as I think that leaves the pile out. I'm I'm already almost looking at it. If you scrap for card action, buy. If you scrap for card action, buy, and you find one more coin, then you have the pile out here. Horns of Plenty gaining 2 heralds, buy herald and 3 moats. I think I start, honestly, by scrapping the cut purse, though, for card action, coin buy, and see what I draw. I think that's the most likely to give me a good outcome. The alternative is scrapping the scrap for card action, buy. Okay, so this is a win here, if I'm counting this correctly. 11. Yeah, this is a win for BitterWurmcoil. So I feel like Folivora just needed to not touch that moat last turn, and they've got a pretty easy win. But now we're seeing they have it by 1, so if the moats cost, if there were one more moat in the pile, they could not pile out there. But 2 horns gaining 2 heralds, and then buy herald and 3 moats. Yeah, so Folivora was ahead. I think they could have gained some scraps there, done anything but gain a moat. And they could have won there, but they lost that one. And we move on to game 3.